evening, everyone. It's Saturday night. We won. Back on winning ways. This is FullTyne. We've got people in the background. We've got people coming on in 10 minutes' time. It's going to be a great show. Done a lot of work on it, so I'm really looking forward to see how it's all come together. So hopefully you'll enjoy it, and please have your say in the chat, because this is all about you guys, telling us what you thought of the game last night. So before we bring the guests in, we'll do the usual stuff. Please hit that subscribe button if you're watching the show for the first time and you enjoy it and you enjoy the interaction. Please consider becoming a member. Only 99p a month. It's peanuts, and it enters you into prize draws. We give away John's ticket. I paid for it, and then handed it over to the winner, who I believe here it is. There he is, picking up his ticket with me from the match last night. Enjoyed himself. It's the first time he's been to a game since Rafa left. He did the same thing as me. He quit his ticket. So it was nice to hand over John's season ticket for one night. I've got it back, John. Don't worry. It's in my capable hands. Great winner. So please consider subscribing, because we are going to be buying more prizes, but from these guys, from Sports Trader, Toon Trader on Twitter. Great UK charity, but also trying to establish themselves in the Northeast by opening up a shop and providing sports gear and money to disabled children and people who need special equipment. So it's a great charity doing some great work. So please consider checking them out. And if you've got any stuff, any quality used gear that you don't want anymore, please donate it to these guys, because they're desperate for stuff as well as selling it. So, and we are doing a boxing night on the 4th of June, a charity boxing dinner. I'll be going. There's a few of the guys from the channel who were on the channel, but obviously now being the Newcastle channel, they're going to start their own, like Richard and Louis. We're all going to be there supporting on a table. There's normal tickets, table tickets. There's going to be some star guests there. There's, an Olympic winner. There's going to be some great boxing guys from the Northeast. So please consider buying a ticket and joining us at the Civic Centre, because it'll be a great night. Right, that's enough crap. Let's bring the guys in. Good evening.
Evening.
Good evening.
What a win. What a win. I've got loads of stuff to show you tonight from the game. It's friggin' brilliant. Well, I think it is. Let's start with the lineups, though. There's Wolves first. Obviously, no Jimenez through suspension, no Neves due to an injury, and I was a bit surprised to see Neto on the bench with them two missing. Any other surprises in that team from you guys that you thought?
No, Dendonka as well. He was out for injury, wasn't he? He would have been straight in, I would have thought, and the young lad Gundle played instead. But I was surprised not seeing Neto playing and just being on the bench, especially with the quality they were missing.
Yeah, definitely. John, there's the lineup for us. Obviously, Kraft. We were actually glad he was back in the starting lineup. We never thought I would ever say that. And then there's obviously been loads of speculation amongst fans, never with Eddie Howe, about Chris Wood and starting Gale instead. It was never going to happen.
No.
But obviously, Willock misses out with a knee injury, and Bruno came in. Any surprises in that team from you, or was that pretty much what we expected?
Let's say it was pretty much what I was expected, apart from, I think, didn't we say Willock instead of Shelby? But yeah, Willock was out, so Shelby got the nod with Bruno.
Pretty much what we expected, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The other good thing as well, obviously, Shearers is now back, which is great. It was 9-bar, now turned into Shearers. So that is fantastic. Way, here he is.
All right.
How's it going, Nick?
Knackered, hungover.
It was a great win, though. It was worth it.
Oh, definitely worth it.
So this was obviously the full-time result, obviously 1-0. Chris Wood was the winner. There was some absolute fabulous displays again from War Flags. There's our owner, one of the owners, flying the flag for us. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. And I've got some videos to show you from it as well. So yeah, It's like you're there, isn't it? I love it. Absolutely love it. But the one thing I was watching before the start of the game, and I was actually surprised at how good Chris Wood ended up playing, because I've got some drills for you to show. And Chris Wood was fucking terrible. He missed every single shot he was lining up to score. It was unbelievable. I'm going to show you some drills anyway, because I think it's really interesting to see these from a tactical point of view. That was Chris Wood right at the end hitting the post. I was like, is he ever going to score one? I missed most of the start of it, to be fair. So you missed every single shot. But did you see Shelby's finish on the outside of the foot there? I was just like, oh, that was peachy. So I was like, great, Chris Wood's not on fire. He's going to have a shit game, missing all his chances. This is the next warm-up drill, which is a good one as well. Same one, shooting. So that was Joelinton, Bruno, and Shelby knocking the ball around in triangles. It was good to watch because it really showed how much actually work they put into being that free in midfield and working in that area of the pitch to pass it around and know where they're going to be when one receives the ball at the foot of the diamond, you know, where the ball is going to be played to next. It's very interesting to watch before the start of a game because you don't see that sort of stuff, Nick, do you, when you're actually watching it on TV? You don't see them warm up, you don't see the drills.
Sadly, I was at the Leazer's end, so I had to watch the Wolves players training, not us.
Well, you can still see, it's just a bit further away.
Not really.
Brilliant.
Did you hear about someone stealing the flag?
Oh, there's about 4 or 5 people stole flags last night. It's absolutely terrible. So if you are watching and you did take a flag from St. James's Park, please return it. You know,
ridiculous, man.
Exactly. Fans put their money into those flags, and you may have put money in as well. So you might have thought you're entitled to take a flag home, but you're not. So please return it. They need it for future displays. The idea is, you know, you donate to it, and the flag stays with war flags. So please return them. And the guy that in the announcement at the start, the guy who says, "Oh, I want to talk about war flags," he couldn't pronounce war flags. It was shocking. It was wear flags. I was like, "What the hell are you saying, mate? Get it right, for crying out loud!" It did my head in. But let's go to a few comments before we go back into the game. So Chipper says, all that mattered last night was the points, and we got them. Was worried at halftime given how poor Wolves were, but we did take an advantage, expecting them to better second half now. How wrong was I? Wolves were very poor. We'll come on to that later. Agreed, Chippers. Last night was about getting the win. Hopefully it'll inject a bit of confidence back. That's what we needed after 3 defeats. Evelyn Geordies, enjoy the show. Remember the usual, please. No yelling, no caps, no trolling, spamming, no politicals, and keep the tone polite despite disagreements. Up the fucking mags. Love it. Evening, everyone. Says Gary. Thanks for joining, Gary. What a massive win for us it was. Evening, I thought Wolves were okay for playing for a draw until we scored. That's the competition for top 6, then bring it on. They did seem to come to St James's Park, didn't they, Billy? And it looked like they were playing for a draw. I mean, they had no shots in the first half.
They were very lacklustre, weren't they? I think that a point would have it seemed to be that's what we're after. But
yeah,
they were so lacklustre, slow, not with many ideas. But I think you can credit Newcastle United for that also. I think we started.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I don't think they expect us to be so energetic, and especially with the midfield, how it played yesterday. And they've kind of lost, really, Wolves. Didn't look a top 8 side anyway, did they? Let's be honest.
They didn't. No. Obviously, injuries are a big miss for them, but that's what happens when you've got a smaller squad. And like I say, Neto not playing was a bit strange. I agree with the above comments. It was all about the win last night. I thought Wood looked better last night. And as for Bruno, what an absolute pleasure to watch he was. He was absolutely fantastic, which we'll come on to later. Evening. Hi, Baz. Hi, Gary. When did you rename your channel, Baz? John's back door. He should have been. Jesus Christ. It's been a few days. It hasn't been long. We put a lot of work into it in the background. It's took how long we've been thinking about doing this? It's been a couple of weeks on it, and we put it all together. We're still just trying to, fine tune it. But we think it deserves to be a Newcastle channel again, because 85% of the subscribers were Newcastle, and so were the shows. So we decided to go back to it. But please, if you are a Villa fan or anyone like that, Richard's going to be doing his own channel. If you're a wrestling fan, Louis got the wrestling show on his own channel. So the shows are still going. They're just going to be separated now. Wood took that penalty away. Lovely, delivered under pressure in front of the Gallagher. He did. And has Wood made that penalty. He kicked the keeper. He did. Baz is back. Yes, I am. Great display from War Flags. Unfortunately, more thieving scumbags rocking some of the flags. They're not yours to take. You're stealing them. Exactly. Billy and Gemma doing the midweek mashup again. Enjoyed the first show, but the second one wasn't on. Possibly, but we've also got Gallagher Girls coming up on Wednesday for the first show. Got a few people lined up for that, so it's going to be an interesting. I'll be hosting it to keeping it in line. But we've got 3 lovely girls coming on to talk football. Yeah,
the reason why the midweek matchup hasn't been on since, firstly, Gemma's been really poorly. Yeah, she's had a bout of pleurisy, so we're just waiting for her to get back onto full fitness again, and that show back on the channel again.
Yep, exactly.
And Barry, you need to change Gallagher Girls to Barry's Angels. I've told you.
Oh man, I can't. No, I like Gallagher Girls. I think it's good. Shame about the flags yesterday's. Crap, Everton won. They did, but that shouldn't make any difference to us, Everton winning, to be fair. Can we just say we stopped them from playing rather than saying that they weren't that good? Yeah, we did. We did stop them from playing. Wood penalty felt in slow-mo in the ground. It did, but hey, I tell you what, Billy, that guy can't actually move.
I think it's more the fact that the Wolves defence is that horrendously slow that made him look quick. He had a great game.
He made a great run. It was a great run. But
he looked quicker, but I think it's because their defence is that slow. Cody hasn't got any pace. Bodie hasn't got any pace. Kilman's not the quickest. And Wood out-sprinted all 3 of those on different occasions during the game.
Yeah.
He looked like really just quick. But that's because of the slowness of their back 3. So
I wouldn't say he was quick. I'm just saying he can actually move.
Yeah, compared to their back 3, he looked quick. To be fair,
he did, yeah. Which is weird. Never thought we'd ever say that. I agree with Bull. My old coach always said, "Side isn't the better the opposites. Let them be." Yeah. Possible new partnership between Almiron and Bruno moving forward. Yes, I'm going to come on to that. And evening, lads from Lee. Evening, Lee. Thanks for joining us. That's caught up with that. Right. Where should we start? So we've got the flag from the owner. I love this picture. So even though Ryan Fraser went off early with a hamstring injury, he still managed to celebrate with the lads when Wood put the ball away. Bruno picking him up as the ball boy. You've got to love it, haven't you? But obviously, Fraser going off early, I thought, oh, God, here we go, hamstring pulled. As someone just mentioned there, Miguel Almiron came on for him. Were you worried at that point, Nick, when Fraser went down and Almiron was coming on?
Aye, I was. I'd put Fraser to score us to win, actually, so...
Did you?
Aye. Like one bet down.
He didn't play long enough. Did you not get a void bet for that?
Sky Bet didn't give us me money back, eh?
Really? Because normally when they start, if they don't play 70 minutes and you've got them down as a first goal scorer, they normally void it or something like that. Or that, I guess it depends on the terms and conditions of the bet, I suppose. Bit of a gutter for you.
But Omrium played better than he has done recently.
He was brilliant, I thought, which we'll come on to. Billy, what did you make of the injury? Were you worried?
I think that could be a season-ending one because he kind of tried, didn't he? There was no one near him. It's definitely a hamstring tear. So I wasn't worried as such because I don't think he's been contributing as much lately anyway. I thought Miggy did really well when he came on. So as to say, I was worried. No. Disappointed that we can lose the quality of Fraser first of the season. Yes, because he has been pretty good lately. But not worried as such because I think we do have a little bit of depth there with Miggy and or Murphy.
Definitely. Here's a question: are you doing a show just for girls in the Gallagher? What also doing the Leasers lasses for females? For Leaser there? No, mate. It's just called Gallagher Girls because it's a famous end at the ground, and the three girls who are coming on don't have season tickets in the Gallagher end. It's the name that I made up for the show. So I'll answer that one. Baz, did your last ticket to the match yesterday? I'm sure I seen you in a silver car. Definitely not me, mate. I was on the Metro, and I was in the Strawberry pub where someone mistook me for Paul. I was like, no, I'm not Paul. He went, I'm sure I've seen your face somewhere. I went, no, you haven't. And I walked out the toilet, and within 5 minutes, he messages on Twitter, and went, I can't believe I've just called you Paul. I was like, fuck, you know who I am. Do you lads think St.James is a fortress now, only beating off Man City since Howe has took the team? It's a good question. John, you go with that one. Do you think it's a fortress now?
Not yet. It will be though. I'm sure it will be. But yeah, it's been, say, Man City's no one. It don't matter losing to them, does it? I mean, that's no shame.
No shame at all, is it?
So
and considering Man United have been and all them lot have come and gone.
Yeah, we should have beat Man United really. But yeah, I think
we're very unlucky.
Yeah, I think we've had some tough games there, and we've come out with a point or three. So yeah, we're doing well at St James Park. But the crowd's behind us now. We haven't had that.
Yes,
since
the war flag's
been
back is huge.
Yeah,
I know it wasn't a massive display with any writing or anything like that, but all the flags around the ground looked amazing. So yeah, and that really does help. Another 4 or 5 players of Bruno's caliber, and we're fighting a few teams next season. I think top 8 next season if everything goes to plan. But let's not get ahead of ourselves because there's still the season to finish. We still need at least 2 more wins, I think, to be mathematically safe. Looking at Everton's games, but them beating Man United today was a bit of a gutter. Wood, what a guy! 6 goals in 6, better than Ronaldo and Messi. Even Pele never achieved that. Love it. That's not count his international goals. But I will say this one thing on Wood, and I did say it, and I've been saying it for a long time. I said he will score us 3 or 4 goals from when he signed to the end of the season, and he will win us points. That's 6 points he's won us now in my eyes with 2 goals, because we wouldn't have beat Southampton without his equaliser, and we wouldn't have won last night without that 1 goal. So I'm claiming 6 points for Wood so far since we signed him. So he's worth every penny of that 25 million or 35 million, as Steve likes to keep pointing out with his wages. If we stay up, Billy, if we stay up, he's worth every penny. It's as simple as that. He was always a short-term gap. What happened to World of Sport? We've changed it back to a Newcastle channel, Ryan, because, like you say, most of the shows are Newcastle related, and I just think it's time to be black and white only. It was hard to get everything all in one show. I think World of Sport TV could happen again in the future, but I would need to be either part-time or doing this full-time to be able to put the effort into it and the time that it needs to create all the shows and do all the stuff for it. I've spent 3 hours creating this show today, at home and on the Metro and stuff like that. So it's a lot of work goes into them. How many points do the panel think we need now to? We just said that, didn't I? 6 points, I think. What about you, John?
4.
4, Billy?
Yeah, I'd say 4 points would definitely keep us up. I'm kind of thinking that actually we might have enough now.
We probably should, but just I think just another win, 2 wins, and we're definitely 100% safe. Nick, what do you think?
I would say 3 at most, and we're safe. 1 more win.
Burnley need to win 5 out of the last 8 to stay up. I think Burnley could win 5 games, and I still think Everton are in trouble. Leeds obviously winning today takes them out of it. I think it is between Burnley and Everton now. But Everton obviously winning is massive for them. So sorry, Everton winning is massive. Burnley, you've got a big game tomorrow against Norwich. Now they have to win that game. If they don't, Burnley are down. Hey Ryan from Gary, such a shame and useless man. You couldn't do Everton. I know, but we couldn't do them either. So I can't really say anything.
Everton played well, or did you watch it?
Everton deserved to win today against us.
I hate to say it, but they deserve to win.
Man United.
Man U was shocking.
Yeah, dog shit.
I tell you a player who I would. There's 2 players I'd sign from Everton if we could. Calvert-Lewin, I would definitely take him because I think he could be a very good striker for us. And I would also take Gordon. I said straight away when I saw that lad play, he's a talent.
What about Allen?
Nah.
Brazilian trio in the middle, man.
Yeah, I'd still prefer Gordon. I just think there's something about the young lad. Maybe it's just because he's an Everton fan and he's playing for Everton, but I just think there's something.
That's why he plays that good. He's playing for his home club. It's hard.
Yeah, exactly. So it might just be that, but I think he could be worth a punt, to be fair. Wood played a big role in the goal versus. Yes, he did. So there we go. There's 9 points he's got for us then, because without that through ball to Murphy, he definitely wouldn't have scored, and we wouldn't have won that game either. So 9 points to Wood. Yes, keep them racking up. Not sure about the rumours of Paqueta being
player
last night. He is. I'm joking, obviously, before anyone jumps on us. I would love Paqueta to sign. I just don't know if he'll come to us. I know he's best mates with Bruno, but we'll wait and see. DCL is on the list according to the media. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's on the list of a lot of other clubs as well, though, to be fair.
Everyone's on the list according to the media, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about the goal. Obviously, it was nice for Chris Wood. And I tell you what, Sky Sports today actually nailed it. It was Dawson, the centre-back, who used to play for Spurs, and he was on this Saturday panel. And he compared Wood and the Everton guys before, obviously, Everton beat Man United. And he was saying about body language, and he was saying how the Everton lads... was it Burnley? No, it was Everton. It was the Burnley-Everton game. Like, the Everton lads just didn't look like they were putting the bodies on the line. Even when they're in the front 3, front 2, they just, they weren't having a great game, but they just didn't look like they wanted to win the match. But what he said is, in all the games where Chris Wood has not obviously been, he hasn't been great, but he's never put his head down. He's always worked and worked and worked and worked, and now he's reaping the awards, hopefully, because that was a great performance last night. His best performance in my eyes in a Newcastle shirt. Could have had 2 if it wasn't for the offside decision. Now, Almiron was brilliant in that offside decision, unfortunately, because it was one of the best moves of the game. Couldn't see it totally, but I saw the little flick and I thought, oh my God, who was that? And obviously it came off the line, and then Wood put it in and he was offside. But it was a great move. And Billy, when you've got Miggy and Bruno playing like that, and then you've got Wood in the box, that's where you want him. We're going to create chances for him if we keep playing like that.
Yeah, it was an outstanding bit of football which leads up to that, wasn't it? And it's a pity that Almond was just a cigarette paper offside. At first, I thought it was just on, but it was the Everton player's arm, which they can't kick with, and therefore doesn't become a part of the body that kind of played him slightly on, if anything. It was a great move. And good finishing from Wood at the end, just was finished from off the floor. His determination to get to the ball was quite good to see as well. So, yeah, I was disappointed because I didn't think it was, but then when I saw the lines, and it was definitely offside without a doubt.
Gutton won it. John, what did you make of Chris Wood's overall performance? Were you pleased with him?
Yeah, I mean, I was defending him a lot last night in the chat, and he came up good, didn't he? He had a good game. He was running everywhere. He was running everywhere, though. I mean, he was chasing down the back 3 on his own, one player to the other. I mean, he even chased back to midfield. I think I made a comment about him trying to do the hurricane roll. He was that much in midfield at one point. But yeah, his work rate yesterday was really good, and
the ball seemed to stick a little bit more this time.
Yeah, the thing, you always felt a goal was coming for him. And you haven't seen that in any of the games he's played.
No.
but it felt like he was going to score. And he did twice. Once counted.
The difference was we've got players running beyond him at times yesterday, which we haven't seen all season.
Yeah.
Joe Linton went past him a couple of times. ASM got close to him a few times. So when he did flip the ball on, you had players behind him to get on the end of it, and that's where he become a lot more kind of valuable to us yesterday, which we haven't seen all season before that.
Miggy did as well, didn't he?
Miggy did too, yeah. Quite a few times. Even Bruno did a couple of times as well. So. Yeah,
we must have been watching our shows, Billy, because we've been crying out for that for weeks.
To see the benefit of Chris Wood in the side, you've got to get players running beyond him. And as I say, the first time we've really done it all season since Wood's been there, and it worked. Fantastic.
Yeah. Nick, what did you make of Wood's performance? Obviously, you would have been close to the first goal that was ruled out. What did you make? Of it?
Was good, like his overall performance from what he has been. The goal, to be honest, right, I was too busy jumping up like that he'd scored to actually pay attention, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
But
it was a great move. Obviously, you would have seen the start of it from your end. I didn't really see the start of it very well, but what a back heel from ASM to play in Joe Linton. Joe Linton then brung it forward. He released the pass at the perfect moment, and it was perfectly weighted for Wood to run onto. He took as soon as he touched it around the keeper, and the keeper committed himself the way he did. Wood just left his feet there and cleaned him out, and it was a penalty all day long, Nick. It really was. Obviously, I saw on my end it was always going to be a penalty. It went to a VAR check. The only thing that could have went against Wood was that his touch was a little bit heavy and he was going away from goal. But
they were checking the offside though, Baz. They were checking the offside.
It was offside. They were checking VAR. Yeah.
I thought it was because of where the ball went and that sort of stuff as well. To be fair, but VAR, Nick, finally gets one right.
Come good for where?
Yeah, it makes a change, doesn't it?
It's not had well enough times this season, like.
Exactly. There's the cat making an appearance.
Charlie's made an appearance. He doesn't normally come in when I'm on. Out the way.
Billy Wood obviously steps up, calmly puts it away. Right off my headphone. End. Do you want to see it again? Nod your head.
Aye, go on.
Boys, you can do this. Come on!
My heart was in my mouth, like when I seen him holding the ball.
Yeah,
you could see it from our end. As soon as I seen him holding the ball, my heart was in my mouth.
Yeah. Do you know what it is?
At least he come good though.
When a penalty is given, you kind of get the feeling sometimes it's going to miss.
Yeah.
Never any doubt at all. Chris Wood was no doubt at all he was going to score. He's confident, stood up, and no doubt at all I thought he was going to score. Absolutely none whatsoever.
As you could hear, the guy sitting next to me, very drunk, by the way. What a nightmare he was, but he was funny. But the one thing I give Wood a lot of praise for, it's not just the way he tucked it away, it's the way he handled the situation. Obviously, there was a VAR check, so it took a while. But you saw him just stand there on the penalty spot, head down, ball in his arm, and he was just trying to zone out of everything, just waiting for the referee to say, right, get on with it. As soon as he put it down, like you said, he ran up and calmly put it away. It was a beautiful penalty. And like I say, we all went nuts. My phone went a little bit haywire. I thought I was going to lose it at one point. But a fantastic penalty. Let's go to the chat because we've got quite a few comments come back in there. Here's the first one that we haven't seen yet. We are going to be linked to most players around the world. Going to be a great summer. It's going to be a very interesting summer. Thanks for joining, by the way. Can we finally not sign injury-prone striker Calvert-Lewin? There's loads of younger player. I'd rather Nunez. I would love Nunez, but if Calvert-Lewin's on the list as well, I would take him. There's no reason why we can't have 4 strikers because we've got a very injury-prone striker already in Wilson, haven't we? So we signed Nunez, signed Calvert-Lewin. You got 4 great strikers to work with next season. Would anyone disagree with that? With Calvert-Lewin not on in their minds, Billy?
Definitely, I'll definitely take Calvert-Lewin. He's a quality player. Look, he is injury prone or have been this season and last season. But who's to say that he won't be injured again? We don't know. But all players can be injury prone at some stage. It's a gamble of every side.
Yeah, of course.
So I would be averse signing that Dominic Calvert-Lewin because he's an excellent player.
John, do you agree?
Completely agree. Yeah.
I like Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah,
Reminds me of Inzaghi.
He was on fire, wasn't he, at the start of last season?
He was.
And injury tampered him a little bit, and then he doesn't seem to have got into the flow this season. But
the injuries obviously impacted.
He's in a relegation battle as well. So
yeah, exactly.
New territory. So.
But again, he's come back from injury. He really helped them beat us, unfortunately. He wasn't too great against Burnley, but I'm guessing Nicky had a good game today, did he?
I was all right, aye.
Would you sign him?
I would, but there's players I'd rather sign. I'd like to see we go for Lacazette. Kind of like how Man City went for Adebayor. Do you know, when they first took over, no guaranteed Champions League football for him, but, and he probably will come for the money, but he'll score the goals, he'll get with that level higher, where we need to be. Do you know what I mean? Even for a year or two.
Would Calvert-Lewin not get us to that level, potentially?
Possibly, but he is injury prone. And Lacazette is more proven over a longer period of time, do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's been there, he's done it.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. I'm not a fan of Lacazette. I think he misses too many chances. And he is also injury prone as well, or has been over the last couple of years. So I get where you're coming from. I think Arsenal will probably keep a hold of him anyway, to be honest with you. Especially with Adebayor.
Do you know what it is? I don't think Calvert-Lewin would come down here because he's one of them fashionable people, and he'll go to a London club.
Yeah, potentially.
He came from Sheffield, though, didn't he? So he's
but he dresses like Dele Alli in one of them, doesn't he? Where he wants to go one of the fashionable places, not the grim northeasters people think of it down here. Well, people from there think of it.
He might think otherwise. You never know. Like you say, he's from Sheffield, so he might know his roots. We'll just have to wait and see. But again, it's just a pipe dream at the moment. We don't know who we're going to be getting in the summer, do we? So let's wait and see what happens. Is it fair to say Fraser is injury prone? Doesn't seem to manage even half a season without an injury because he gets battered every week, doesn't he? He gets kicked all hour, so he's always going to pick up injuries, unfortunately. But again, he's a good little guy to have around the squad, isn't he? He seems infectious. He smiles, the way he talks. I'll always remember that little interview we did about the goal that he scored in Saudi Arabia. He's like, it's an absolute screamer.
So he was playing really well as well, wasn't he?
He was.
Before he went off.
Yeah, especially on the left.
Very lively, very lively.
So it's a shame. Hey, lads, buzzing with my badge. Oh, yeah, Nufc finally got his badge. It finally turned up today. We've got 20 more to sell, by the way, so we've got another 20. I think I've already sold 2 today. But the brilliant badges, I'll be putting another tweet out about them. So anyone wants one, 40 quid. That includes delivery, and they're absolutely fantastic badges. So we might never do them again. But there'll be a donation to Toon Trader as well once we sold all 20. Wood's best game for us last night. He was looking for the ball and his positioning was better. Yeah, I agree, Gary. And then talking to each other. Up yours, Gary. I really believe with some wise signings in the summer, top 8 is a possibility. The likes of Wolves, West Ham, and even Man U are not miles away from us. Yeah, I messaged one of my Man United mates and I said, your rebuild is almost as big as Newcastle's. And he said, no, don't be daft. I went, it is, mate. Look at your squad. It's aging. There's going to be people leaving. I think they're in deep trouble. I really do.
I think I commented on Twitter today that they've got to do as much as we have as regards recruitment. Difference is they've already spent billions to be as shit as they are now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you are, JP. It's a bit of praise for you on your commentary.
Thank you.
I will be back on Wednesday, though, to disappoint you all. Every time Miggy does decent for Newcastle, it gets interrupted by international duty. Then whenever he turns up for Paraguay, he's always back on the bench. He needs a solid run of games now. I thought he was excellent. We're going to come to talking about those 3 players soon. It's time to say goodbye to Maxi. He's not a team player. I disagree with that, I'm afraid. I know he was frustrating last night, guys, but You know, he had a big influential on the goal without that little clever back heel into Joe Linton's run. He got into great situations again. He just picked the wrong pass. There was one time when he tried to play in Dan Burn down the left instead of Miggy on the right, which was frustrating. Got to the bar line and smashed one across the goal where Wood was just a little bit on his heels, but the cross was a bit too hard. Nick, what did you make of Maxi in the ground? I mean, I thought he was frustrating, but I always take that with a pinch of salt because this is getting on the ball in the right positions.
Definitely he was. Well, Max is always a frustrating player, but you know what it is? He was trying to pass like more than what he used to do.
Yeah.
He's trying to get into the team, like get with the team more. A few times I've seen him in front of us where he was like looking and going like try, you know, asking for people to come in to pass to him, but they weren't coming. So he's getting there. I don't get why people want to sell him and that. I love him, mate.
Yeah, I don't get it. And there was times he had 4 players around him.
Exactly. All teams do that. They chuck more players around him than you need to because they know what he's like.
Exactly.
And then he still manages to blitz past him. The end ball isn't there.
He did at times, didn't he? And again, if you get better players around him, you know, teams aren't going to be able to mark Maxi out of a game because they'll have to worry about all the other great players that potentially are going to be in our team. So, you know, you think of Man City with Foden, Mahrez, you know, Gundogan, the list goes on. They get time because they're all marking everybody else as well. So, and Maxi doesn't have that luxury in our team at the moment, which he will get hopefully in the next year to 2 years. Here's a good one. Yeah, you'll get wrong for taking them videos. Mind Adam P was kicked out under 23. So yeah, but what happens is Adam P actually records the full 90 minutes. I literally just recorded the penalty, mate. So that's why I will never get caught and never get kicked out because that was just a one-off moment when I was in the Gallagher end and I was able to record the penalty. So yeah, don't worry about me, Tom. I'll be fine. How did you know, Billy, with such confidence?
You can just tell a player's demeanour before he takes penalties really telling at times. Sometimes, you know, you see a nervous cough or a 2-step run up before they take a penalty. I all think that if they can do that, that's when they're going to miss it. Wood was upright, stood upright, chest puffed out, concentrated, didn't just stared at where he was going to put it, stared at the ball, just looked 100% confident. And in that kind of case, so was I.
Yeah, brilliant penalty. I think it's the first time ever that I held a lucky penny and faced away from the TV. I was nervous as out. I love it. Adam filmed the game yesterday himself. There you go. He films the whole game and I don't. I'd rather watch it and enjoy it. I only filmed the penalty because I thought, you know what it is. It's, you know, why not? It's very rare I do that. I prefer to watch it and soak it in. I think Wood looked in the zone last night and was well up for it. He did. Chris Wood score. F me. What have he's had his Weetabix.
I think he was telling that goal also when we were kind of sitting back that Eddie Howe pushed Chris Wood out onto the left-hand side and having help defend more than ASM.
Yeah, well, again, that always happens, doesn't it, with ASM? And it's great that he would do that, to be fair. Chris Wood is very unselfish, I think, and he plays for the team. And I think that's what a lot of people have not seen over the last few weeks because he's not been scoring, but they haven't seen the work rate that he puts in. And again, I know his touch isn't great, but like I say, it's short term. He's doing his job. You know, let's just get behind him. Because Calvert-Lewin is made of glass. 6 games this season. He had 1 good season at Everton. Think bigger, Barry. But again, I'm keeping my feet grounded. I still think Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a very, very good striker. And as a team that's still in the bottom half of the table and needs to look to push on next season, you know, we might not be able to get bigger than Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So that's just the way I'm thinking. And I think he's a proven Premier League striker. So,
I mean, at one time, after Alan Shearer's injuries, would you have signed him because he was injury prone?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Of course
2 massive knee injuries, didn't he? So there you go. I have a feeling yesterday was the kickstart Wood needed to go and score a few important goals for us for the rest of the season. Like I say, he only needs 2 more, and I'll be happy if he gets us another 6 points to add on to his 9 that he's already won for. That'll be 15. While a striker who can't score, Loca has no goals in 5 months. Who? Lacazette. All right. I don't really follow Arsenal that much, to be fair.
I watched the Arsenal game today, and Arsenal only started playing when they brought in Nketiah when he got absolutely superb when he came on. Nketiah, real trouble for. Yeah, he caused so much trouble for Brighton. He's really lucky not to score. And another player we've been linked with at the end of the season.
I've heard. I've heard Ekiteke is off to bloody Dortmund as well, which I'm devastated about. Agree, Thomas Wood's run was so much better than we've seen before too, hoping he continues to improve. Yeah, that run that he got for the penalty was absolutely fantastic. And I would not have expected to see Wood actually turn and run in between two defenders in the last couple of games. He normally just stands there back to goal. And maybe Howe spoke to him and said, look, we need you running behind more. I know you don't have the pace, but at least make defenders think and try and pull space in the middle for other people. So very interesting.
Against their back three, though, he did have the pace. That's the point of it.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Painfully slow. And so he was able to run the channels much better and look more effective doing it.
Yeah. There are cycles. Man, you are in decline. They are. They're in a cycle now. Everton are in a cycle now again because they normally top half of the table.
They've spent how many millions? Another one.
300, wasn't it? Or 400, something stupid like that.
Lots of money. Past 3 or 4 years. And we've spent for to be shit. They've spent loads to be shit. That's the difference.
When you popped up, I was like, who the fuck's that? It's Baz. There's a few people spotted me at the ground. I was like, oh, man, please don't. I mean, you can always come and say hi to us. Just, there was, like you say, there was one guy we met who was the prize winner. He was like nervous meeting us. I'm like, well, I'm just a fan. Just an idiot on YouTube who talks about football and about our club. It's just, anyone can do this. You can set up your own channel and do it. It's just whether you've got the time, the energy, and the determination to want to do it. But we're no different to anyone. Just, if you see me at the ground, just come and say hi. I'm not bothered. Just
Have you got signed photographs to hand out?
Oh, could you imagine? Who would want to have this mug? I love it. But
Baz, can I have your autograph?
No.
You're famous. On YouTube, you're famous.
You know what it is? I don't even have a signature. That's how dyslexic I am when it comes to writing. I am terrible. My signature's all over the shop. It's never the same. I'm so glad for contactless payments these days because if I tried to sign something, I'd be like, well, it's not going to be what it looks like. Behind you got Mara's tight winger. He will cry and whinge. Who will? But Barry, if we get a better player, we'll. Are we talking about Calvert-Lewin whinging? I don't know what we're talking about there, Ginger. You've lost me. Sorry, mate. Obviously, I'm behind in the comments a little bit. In the heat of the game, I do curse out ASM, but yes, I love him, but he's sensitive, not a diss, so I'm backing off him. I get that, Brian. I mean, he does at times. He's a bit of a... He goes down, he doesn't get back up quick enough sometimes. You just want him to put a bit more extra hard yards in on the defensive side of things, but...
The one time I cursed yesterday was when he delayed the pass just a tad too late for Bruno.
Yes.
He was improving it at the right time. He slightly delayed it. The Wolves player got a slight touch on it and put it behind Bruno. Yeah, that was frustrating. So
yes, I remember that one now. It was just behind him, wasn't it, down the right-hand side? And he tried
got a
to shot wide.
defender, but he should never have been in that situation. He should have been much before that, and Bruno had been one-on-one with the keeper and probably would have scored. So,
yeah,
it was the first minute as well for me when he took that 2 players on, tried to shoot when he could have threaded it through to, I think it was Wood or Fraser was free.
Yeah.
And it was just a simple pass, and we'd have been first minute, we could have had a good chance. But...
Yeah, definitely. It was a good start to the game as well. It was right at them, which was great because normally we're very slow starters, aren't we, in the first half? So it was nice to see that. Really buzzing today. Thomas, finally got my badge. If you haven't got one, they're really good quality. There you go. So there's a good little advertisement for the badges that we're selling again. Barry, we keep hearing about Paqueta, but Aqua is better than all 3 of them. But Paqueta's got that understanding with Bruno, and that's why we want to sign them. It's not just about who's better. It's about can they fit into the team, into the philosophy. It's not just about technical ability. It's about them as a person. And if he brings his quality that he has for Brazil with Bruno, he's better than the other 3 because he has that understanding.
If he means Awar is not in the same league as Lucas Paqueta.
It means Awar, yeah.
Not in the same league as Paqueta.
I've never heard of an Aqua anyway.
Yes, Thomas, you will be getting a badge when Steve finally sends me the free ones I was getting, and I did promise you one. We just got to work out how to get it to you because obviously import rules on metal are very strange in some countries. How many Brits do we need in the squad? Do you have to keep Murphy? It's a good question. I'm not too sure on the foreign rule these days. I know there's certain rules towards it. Is it 8?
It's 8, but you can count the under 21s.
Yeah, well, there you are. We've got plenty of them then.
So yeah, we're fine.
Do you not think Calvert-Lewin would come with an English striker premium on top of what he's worth? Probably, because Everton are in that much shit that they need to sell what they can. 500.
I think it'll cost more if they stay up. Put it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
cost more if they stay up, definitely.
Paz, can I have your autograph on a blank checkbook? That will not be worth a penny, mate.
It would be on a blank check.
Thomas, I'll put a signature on your badge for you. There you go. Bruno got frustrated.
He'll devaluate it, though.
I will, yeah. Bruno wasn't the only one. I think Almiron got frustrated with Maxi as well when he didn't play him in down the right a couple of times. They were saying to him, look, come on, release the ball faster. And I think ASM will learn that he has got some decent players around him in Almiron. Bruno and Almiron look brilliant together. So if they're going to make the runs, he's going to have to start finding them. Who had more consistency, Ben Arthur or ASM? I feel ASM has produced for us more in a worse team, but everyone loves Ben Arthur. It's an interesting question. I think Ben Arthur's produced more. He certainly produced more goals than ASM, and stunning goals. Don't forget the one against Bolton when he ran from the halfway line, the one against Blackburn in the FA Cup when he ran from the halfway line. And then, I think Ben Arthur was... Yeah, exactly. Oh, what a goal that was. I think Ben Arthur had more end product than ASM, Billy.
We didn't see the benefit of Ben Arthur because of that dirty twat at Man City. De Jong broke his fucking leg when he could have been red carded for it.
Definitely.
I think talent-wise, I think Ben Arthur was more talented even than ASM.
Yeah.
And I think also from a production kind of view, he was more talented than ASM also. So I can't disagree with that. I think.
I mean, look what he did when he went to France as well. He took a team that was languishing mid-table to top of the table, won a cup with them. Got them into Champions League. And then PSG ended up signing him on the back of it. Then he hardly got a game for them.
Plus, Ben Arthur was more flexible. He played more central, didn't he? He could play either flank, but mostly central. Yeah. Just a real dangerous, real skillful player. Nick,
what do you think?
Ben Arthur was better. Ben Arthur, hell of a player.
Yeah, I agree. I all agreed that Eddie is long term. I've always said Eddie's long term. Billy,
the next Ferguson.
Yeah, hopefully. Billy, you were undecided at the start, but your head was turned, and do you think he's now long term?
Absolutely. He'll make mistakes along the way. He has done at a certain stage of this season, but generally, the man's been absolutely outstanding for us to take us from where he was to where we are now. The style of football we're playing now is much more easy on the eye than it was, and with that squad, I think what he's done has been nothing short of unbelievable. To be fair to him, been outstanding. Yeah, I'd be looking to improve his contract and lengthen it a little bit. Obviously not Pardew-esque 8-year time, but definitely let's give him a couple of years on top of what he's got and give him something to aim for. And I think he'll make it for us. I really do. I think he's an outstanding manager.
Brilliant. John?
I've always been a fan of Eddie. I wanted Eddie to come before his name was mentioned, really. Back when, before the takeover, I was shouting, let's get Eddie on.
Well, I was Thomas Franks. I was let's get him in. Pre-takeover to replace Steve Bruce. I said Thomas Franks would be a great one. Oh, I did say Eddie Howe as well, but I was something about Thomas Franks I liked.
The thing that got me was it was way before the takeover, and he came out and he was talking about what he'd been doing while he was out of the game and how he'd been working on this, that, and the other. And he just seemed to be so tactically aware. And the team we had at the time, we needed someone tactically aware because Bruce had no clue. So I wanted him then. Then we got the takeover, and Eddie came in, and I was happy he came in. I know there was a few that wasn't, but I was genuinely happy that he came in.
Yeah, I mean, I was always happy I had a £50 bet on it. I got told he was coming, so I went for it. Guys, please, again, if you're enjoying the show and you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the bell button to allow you to know when we're live. Please consider becoming a member. It's just £1. You find it down the back of the furniture, but it helps us to keep the channel running and also get prizes for you guys. And it's members-only prizes from now on because it's starting to get expensive. But we're giving away a shirt. We're giving away a match day ticket. We're giving away badges. We've given away a specially designed shirt. Joe Linton one, which it looks absolutely... The picture doesn't do it justice. I saw it up in personal. The shirts are fantastic. So if you want one, please contact John because they are fantastic shirts and you can get you one made at a decent price and they are very worth it. And they do all sorts of sizes as well. So there's no excuses on that one. It's not Castro, so you're all right. But they are brilliant. And if you'd like to donate to the show tonight, $sign in the bottom right-hand corner. Again, all donations go back into the channel and helps us to keep it running because, like I say, it can be free to do YouTube. If you want to do it well, it does cost money, and we do try our best to do this as best as we possibly can and bring you great content. And there'll be lots more in the future. I can promise you that. So let's have a look at Miggy. I thought his sofa score was a little bit. I mean, you look better on the eye than what his sofa score is. 6.6 is not a bad score. I thought his heat map would have been a little bit better than that as well, because at times he was switching wings. He was on the right side, he was on the left side, but he was still involved. A great key pass. Touches only 29. His accurate passes were 94% though when he did have the ball, which is very high. Put one cross in, one dribble, one successful. He had one shot of target, one shot blocked. Possessions lost 6, but he was losing them in dangerous areas, not next to our box, which is good. So personally, I thought, like I said, with Bruno, he seemed to finally have that understanding. Billy, stop laughing.
The comment.
I'll get to it eventually. I haven't seen it yet because I'm too busy, but we'll get to it. But Bruno and Miggy, that's the sort of performance I've seen Miggy put in for his country. Stop it, you two.
I had to look at it when he said that.
Why did you look at it? But John, that understanding, it seems to be brought the best out of Miggy, Bruno being in that midfield, because the link-up seemed to work really well, and he was higher up the pitch. He wasn't that free in the middle. He was the man on the wing is higher up where he should be, like almost playing a number 10 role, which is his best position in my eyes. And it was nice to see that.
Miggy had his best game in Newcastle shirt for me yesterday.
I think his first game was probably his best game for us. I don't know if you can remember it, but he was close last night.
He played well. He should have had an assist, shouldn't he, for the goal that was offside. There was a couple of good chances he created. We slated him, didn't slate him, but we said he hadn't shown much the last couple of weeks,
but he hasn't.
No, not all season, but last night and it's good because, as I say, Fraser's probably going to be out 2-3 weeks, maybe
probably the season. I think with the hamstring potentially.
It depends how it was. I mean, he was walking though, wasn't he? So I don't think he's completely pulled it.
Right.
So I think 2 to 3 weeks. But yeah, so Miggy coming back. I mean, he played well, and let's hope he carries on like that. He linked up very well with Bruno as well.
Yeah. Do you think he's worth keeping now potentially?
I don't know about that.
Or do we still move him on?
One good game doesn't decide.
If he carries it on to the end of the season.
But if he carries it on to the end of the season, then probably I would look at keeping him. Yeah, I think he's got to play for his shirt. If he wants to stay, he's got to play for his shirt.
Yeah, I agree. And he's going to start now with Fraser being out and he put in that performance. So there's no reason why you won't start him against Leicester. Nick, what did you make of the partnership between Bruno and Miggy? It seems to be that South American understanding. They'll probably been able to talk to each other a lot better than what, Shelby can talk to Bruno because of the language barrier. But they seem to feed off each other.
If you add Joel in that as well.
Yeah.
Could be a dangerous trio, that. We'll just have to see how it goes against Leicester, and then obviously how long's Fraser out for?
Yeah, I mean it's going to be at least 3 weeks, isn't it, Billy?
Well,
I think so. With the hamstring, it depends how serious the hamstring strain is. But I mean, Miggy, what kind of stood out for me was the lad actually looked confident last night, and that's the big thing with Miggy. Whether it's down to Hal's man-to-man motivational talks or what, the lad looked confident, and he performed like he was confident. And when he's not confident, he's dreadful. When he's got that kind of confidence in him, he's an absolute massive asset for us. And like John says, if he can be consistent now to the end of the season, maybe he can get himself another contract. But if not, I'll be looking to move him on.
ASM Ben Arthur good, but Lauren Robert was better. Robert was fantastic. I'm not going to argue with that at all. Can you explain why Eddie and his team haven't taken Miggy into the gym and got him bolt muscled up? It would surely give him confidence at a physical level. Might lose his pace or something like that potentially. I don't know. I mean, again, he's played at international level, and you don't play at the national level if you get bullied. He's actually stronger than you think. But yeah, bit of a strange one. I mean, some good players mentioned in this list, but ASM is still better than some of them in my eyes. But Jared Bowen, I would take him any day of the week. Harvey Barnes is good, but I don't think he's skillful as ASM. Lingard's good, but he's a different player. He's a number 10. I think ASM's more of a winger, and we've been trying to play him as a number 10 at times. Round pegs into square holes in my eyes at times. But Lingard's a free transfer. I would definitely take him. Is Nick happy with our back four?
Aye. Kraft's improved lately. Obviously, Sean Byrne are just amazing. Target on the left, and Kraft's playing better than Mankiw at the minute.
Yeah, he is. And
best back four we can have.
Yeah. Well, till Trippier's back.
Aye, obviously. Not including Trippier, obviously.
Yeah, I get that. And smash the like button. Yes, guys, please hit the like button as well. I forgot about that one. ASM couldn't lace Ben off his boots. There you go. I do rate Calvert-Lewin 15 plus a season if he stays fit. Good finisher and runs the channels with similar to Wilson. I get that one. I like that. How would you become a member? So if you look in the description, there's a link to become a member. There's also a join button on YouTube when you're watching the show. It should just be underneath the screen. If you click join, it gives you the option of a 99p, 1.99 or 2.99. You pay what you think the channel deserves. But if you check the description out, you'll be able to see the link for it as well. So thank you, Ian, if you're thinking about doing that. Don't know about Thomas Franks, but I think Bruce was Anne Franks in disguise. He managed to disappear when the shit hit the fan for the blame. I take it that was the comment.
Anne Franks dunk it, that's for certain.
Winnie Wynn says Miggy's one to keep. Like you say, if he does keep putting those performances until now to the end of the season, he might turn some heads. And as you said that you were told that Eddie would be our manager. Was this before the Umar Emery saga? Just asking because I'm curious to know if Eddie really was our first choice for Staveley. It was before Unai Emery, and I got a little bit bum twitchy when his name popped up. But Eddie Howe was, I was told, as soon as the takeover was done, that Eddie Howe would be the man to take over. But obviously there were a few members on the board that were unsure. But after all the interviews, it ended up being Eddie the right man. And obviously Umar Emery may have been good for us, but I'm very pleased it's Eddie Howe.
Staveley did come out saying that Emery was first choice, though, didn't she?
Yeah.
I think she came out to the press and said that. So,
but I did get told that Howe was going to be the man, to be fair, from certain people. So it worked out all right in the end. Miggy to keep, definitely massive untapped talent with Bruno will bring it out. Potentially, yeah. Again, we need a squad as well, don't we? Barry, what is it with you wanting to keep trash players? Miggy one game doesn't justify the 3.5 years of shit. It wasn't 3.5 years of shit. I thought he was all right in his first half of season under Rafa. He seemed to do all right in the first season under Bruce. If you can remember, he actually won us a lot of games, especially Southampton when we were down to 9 men. And he's obviously declined under Bruce. But if you look at his international experience, Ginger, he's not a trash player. And his performance last night proved it as well. So there's more to come from him. And let's see what happens. Reminding me of Miggy's link up with Ayazu Perez and Rondon the first half season. Just the rhythm was there again with Bruno. A couple of nice 1-2s. Exactly. Right players around him. It brings the best out of everyone, doesn't it? But as you say, Miggy will start, but means he's jumped ahead of Murphy. I think he should be ahead of Murphy. Murphy can't finish his dinner, can he?
I think it depends who we're playing. If playing against side, they're going to give us trouble. I think Murphy probably would play as a better defensive wide side player, if you like.
Yeah.
I think he starts against Leicester, though.
Yeah, I would hope so after that performance. Miggy has the perfect opportunity now to show how to save his NUFC career. Yep, brilliant. Way, Stato's in the house. Fraser let out a huge shout of frustration as he wandered off down the tunnel. His season is over. He has a history of hamstrings. Yeah, unfortunately. It really is a shame.
But if you notice in the team photo that they took, that he wasn't strapped up.
Right.
That's the key to me. If he was strapped up in that team photo, then he'd have been out.
That's a great comment. Miggy comes back next season looking like Adam Traore. Get him on the fish and chips and in the gym. And then even all from... Right, I don't think Miggy's problem is his physicality, his decision-making going forward. We had a good game, so whatever Eddie has told him is working. Brains, not brawn. Exactly. I mean, look at the size of Foden. And Foden's strong on the ball, isn't he? You find it very hard to get him off the ball. Right, we'll come back to some comments. Hopefully, I'll get them all in before we finish. But let's look at Chris Wood's performance. What happened there? That was weird. The whole screen went white there. Sorry, guys. Let's try again. There we go. So Chris Wood, SOFA score 7.5. That's an excellent score, by the way. And as you can see, all the hard work that he did, a lot of it was in midfield. And that was probably when he was trying to flick the balls on and stuff like that. But there was a lot of defensive work in there as well. He was happy to come back and help out. A lot more shades in the box there and just outside the box, which we haven't seen in previous games. Shots on target, 1. Goals, 1. Penalty, 1. His accurate passes was 75%. That could do with a little bit more improvement. But ground duels won 3, which is nice to see because he doesn't normally win them. His aerial duels, he won 5 of them as well. So absolutely fantastic. And like we said, Billy, this is the Wood we want to see, isn't it?
Yeah, as I said earlier, we'll see more benefit from Chris Wood when you get players running beyond him. But the actual effort he put in last night was outstanding. And that's not been kind of the thing that we've been criticising for. It's the holding up, but I thought he did much better last night. And he looked a bit of a threat, which is what he hasn't looked before. So, yeah, I was really impressed with the way he played last night.
Yeah. Like I say,
we've got to give the man credit to keep stepping up to the plate, even though he's obviously knows he's getting criticised. He knows he hasn't performed properly as a Newcastle player yet. But to keep coming up and stepping to the plate, you've got to give the man credit for it. He's obviously strong mentally. And, yeah, I was really, really impressed with him last night.
Yeah, like I say, the one thing that, that it stood out with the pundits was that he never had his head down, ever. He kept on going and kept on going. And finally got his just rewards, John. I would say, great performance. We just want to see more of it now, don't we?
Yeah. Like we said earlier, he looked like he was going to score the whole game. That was the difference. And like Billy, as soon as he stepped up to the penalty, I knew it was in. Without,
I wasn't that confident.
I don't think anyone in the ground was.
I celebrated more for the penalty than the goal. If people that were watching the stream will tell you that, because as soon as he got the penalty, I knew it was going to be a goal. He just looked like scoring all game, and he likes scoring against Wolves, doesn't he?
Yes, this is true.
It's five goals in 5 games against Wolves, I think it is. Now,
I mean, I think if I'd have been at the ground, I'd have been like you guys. I probably wouldn't have been as confident. But when you actually saw him close up, preparing to take the penalty, it's just there's no doubt in his mind he's going to score, and because of that, there's no mind.
No, he was confident, very confident. Grabbed the ball straight away. You could tell he wanted it.
Yeah, that was the thing that I saw, and like I said, the way that he stood there at the penalty spot, he was drowning everything out. His head down, he wasn't listening to people, he wasn't looking at the goalkeeper to see what he was doing and try to chat shit to him. He literally was possessed at that time, and he was a man who was clear mind and knew what he wanted to do. I still had my doubts because of his, like I said, I showed you the video of the shooting practice. He was hitting, he couldn't hit a barn door. I was just like, oh my god. And Nick, you were the same, weren't you?
I think Shearer possessed him from the crowd.
Yeah, he must have. He must have just got into his head and went, right, you're going to Shearer this one into the top corner, definitely.
Here's a question for you, though.
Go on, then.
Would he have scored if the keeper hadn't brought him down?
No.
No,
he wouldn't have got the ball.
No, the ball was going out.
It was too heavy, the touch, wasn't it? So
Yeah. That's why I said when it went to VAR, I was worried that would be something they would try and turn the penalty down.
It was just the offside that they were looking at on the VAR.
Yeah, that's all right then, because it was definitely he took his legs out. There was
they
no
took him
way he
out
would have
completely.
scored.
Yeah, but
Jose Sarr's reaction was pathetic. It's the most blatant
wasn't it?
Stonewall penalty I've ever seen. He was walking around like he'd been really hard done to. Absolutely pathetic.
Yeah. But these things happen, don't they? There was definitely a penalty. For anyone who wants to become a member, I've just clicked pinned the link at the top of the chat now. So if you click on the link, it'll take you to the payment screen on how to become a member. So 99p1, 99.2, 99, and like I say, we do members only prizes. and there'll be another prize eventually. We've done 4, so we've done 1 each month, so there'll be 1 next month. Don't know what I'm going to give away yet, but we'll give something away as we always do. So if you want to become a member, hit the link in the chat, and then you can become a member. So thank you very much to anyone who does that. So finally, my man of the match. I'm sure you guys will agree this as well. Look at that heat map. He was absolutely everywhere, and he bossed that midfield. 100% dribble rate, 90% passing accuracy, 41 passes attempted, 37 completed, 12 duels, most won, 7 possessions won, 5 fouls won, the most, 4 tackles made, 3 clearances, 1 interceptions. He just dominated that midfield, didn't he, Nick?
Completely different class he is, man. He's a player that's going to help to bring what up.
Yeah.
Once we get a bit more around him, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Almost scored as well. If he did score, that sofa score probably would have changed to 8.4 instead, because it was a complete performance in my eyes, Billy.
God, I thought it was 10 out of 10 performance. Honestly, I don't think he put wrong the whole game. It's not a case of him doing the one thing; he does everything. He's box to box. He's got strength. He's got great passing ability. He's got great awareness of what's coming at him from a defensive point of view. I don't know. I mean, seriously, this guy's £40 million up for a real snip.
Isn't it?
The talent the lad's got is unbelievable, and that was the best midfield performance. I was trying to think earlier. Last time we kind of had a player that dominated like that, and I'm going back as far as maybe Kabay, maybe further.
Yeah,
he was absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. He'd fit into any side in the Premier League, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and John, it's not just his passing; it's his actual, interceptions and tackles. He's not afraid to put his foot in. He's not afraid, but it's not just that; it's the intelligence of reading the game as well, because he just nicks in at the right time, doesn't he? And he was brilliant.
It was complete performance, like Billy says, complete performance. And I don't think, so FIFA gave him a less rating than Wood, but I think it was 52,000 that Wood has said he was the man of the match. It was the clearest man of the match you'll ever see in a game of football. Yeah. He was that good.
This is why you got to take, ratings and stats with a pinch of salt, because if you watch on the eye, you easily put Bruno as class above everybody else and the man of the match. Do you all guys agree he's the man of the match?
Yeah, definitely.
Country man.
Never mind Max, you've been on about a Ballon d'Or. He could win a Ballon d'Or in years to come. Definitely before Maxi.
Yeah, I agree with that. Stato says, noticed that he was close to tears. This is Fraser. Doesn't think he'll play another minute now after going off, and I'm actually agreeing with that as well. A few actual muscles on his body wouldn't hurt though. No, I agree. Just Adam Traore is a bit of a different animal, isn't he? Can't have the wind blowing you away all the time. He's not that bad. Thomas, fair enough, mate. But look at Mahrez and David Silva. They're very slight in build, but hasn't stopped them. But I do see your point. It can't hurt. Yeah, like say Foden, there's nothing on him. He's just a little weed. And like I say, you don't want to change his physique if it's going to change his actual game as well. Was his international got to do with club form, Barry? You are clutching at straws, mate. You can say what you want, Ginger, but I disagree. I think Miggy will come good in the next few games. If he doesn't, then again, he's on his bike. But like I'm saying, after that performance, he hasn't done himself any harm. Maybe you should start, encouraging players who are starting to look a bit better, mate, instead of just putting them down all the time. Language barrier. Have you heard Bruno's English? He's better than Willock's. He's better than mine. He should be presenting this, not me. What should our goal next season? Is mid-table good enough? I think anything from 10th upwards, guys. Do you agree?
Top 10, yeah. Top 10.
Definitely top half, aye.
Billy?
I'm thinking top 6, personally.
Yeah, well, if the summer goes well, but you just got to think if it doesn't go quite well, top 10 definitely.
Well, I think where we'd be now if we didn't have 14 odd games of Steve Boots. I mean, I think we'd be top 10 now.
Yeah, potentially.
Sky's the limit next season.
It is.
How many years till we'll win the Prem?
4 or 5.
3 for me.
3? Wow. No,
next season.
4 or 5. I think 4 or 5. There's the link if you want to become a member. Like I say, just click on it. If you're on your iPhone or something like that, open it with Google Chrome or Safari, and it'll take you to the right page to do it. I think ASM doesn't look match fit. Easily caught and disposed. Just seemed a yard off. It's interesting. I thought he looked quite sharp last night. He just, again, his decision making.
He had a better second half, definitely. I think he was a great second half from Maxi. And I think something was said to him at half time, because I was saying this yesterday, that the first half, there was a couple of times where he didn't pass when he should have passed.
Yeah.
And he tried to take on. He tried to he went down the wing into the box, and that many players came to him. He ended up dribbling it backwards. Passed it back to Dan Burn. He still took 4 players on, but he just went the wrong way. And then the second half came, and he seemed to be trying the passes. He seemed to be trying to release players. The one that was just behind Wood, the cross come shot against the 6-yard box. They say he just seemed to be trying more in the second half, and I thought it was very lively second half.
Yep, I agree. I agree with this as well. Obviously, Bruno was told, Trippier was told about potential players and that they will come in. But Chippers has nailed this one. Going away international gives confidence. Look at Wood. Went away, scored 5 goals. He's come back and scored for his club. So, yeah, it all has a bearing. Mid-table is good enough for me. Baby steps, would rather gradual improvement rather than overachieving one year and having a poor season the year after. That would put unnecessary pressure on our too. Yeah, I can see your point of view there. Top 8 for me, to do without looking at the drop zone all season. Anything else would be a bonus and possibility. Small steps of a plan for me. I agree. I would like us not to get into Europe next season. If we're going to win the Premier League in 2 years or 3 years, you need to do it without European football, because we haven't got the squad to be able to go, 2 games in a week all the time. So I would like to see us gradually get better, just finish outside the European zone, sign loads of players and go, fuck it, let's win the league. I doubt it'll happen like that.
Top 10 in a cup.
Yeah, exactly. Miggy and Bruno link up was class. Do you think if Miggy keeps it up, he would keep his place ahead of the fit Fraser? That's an interesting one. 50-50 on that one, to be honest with you. Fraser, again, if he plays on the left and he played the performance he's had, he's better than Miggy, isn't he? So you would put Fraser in first. You wouldn't have scored the goal. You wouldn't have had the goalkeeper not taking them down. The credit to Wood for playing for it. Mission completed. Yeah, he was always looking for the penalty, wasn't he? I think his eyes lit up when the keeper came storming out like that. He thought, oh, yes, I'm just going to nick it past you and I'm going to go down. All foreigners do it, so can't blame him for it. But Bruno looked gutted to be taken off.
He did,
I think he was gutted, but he was knackered, wasn't he?
He wasn't the only one. When he brought Longstaff on for mate,
I love it.
Yeah,
Chris,
but we're tempting state there somewhat.
No, Chris, you could be right on that one, but I don't know, because I don't know what Emery's like as a manager. He got a bit.
But he saw his management at Arsenal. He saw it at Arsenal. It was found wanting at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah. You do know Emery is in the last 8 of the Champions League, right? Yeah, he's a good manager. I'm not saying he's not.
Won the UEFA Cup 3 times, is it, or 4 times?
Yeah. So he is a good manager. We're just, I'm happy with Eddie Howe. The pass from Joe Linton was overhit, so Wood only had one option. I thought it was a perfect way to pass, to be honest with you. Yeah. It was the goalkeeper making the clumsy decision to come flying out the way he did. Had he not come flying out, Wood would have had a potentially difficult shot on his wrong foot. So the keeper made the complete error. He should never have done what he did. Looks like Bruno will play further forward. I can see us bringing in a CDM in the summer, so Bruno can be in 8 next to somebody else. I'm going to do a video soon on if we sign Calvin Phillips, what our team could look like, because he's on everyone's lips at the moment. And I've got it a little bit different, to be honest with you, but you might enjoy what I've gone for. A 4-2-3-1, so I'll be showing you in the future what my team would look like. I don't think Emery would get us out of this shite, mate. Potentially, no. I don't think he could have.
I don't think he would have either.
No. And if he had done it, it'd have been terrible to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Bruno's already a complete player. God knows how far he can go in a black and white shirt. Exactly. Gary Speed is the best Newcastle midfielder I ever watched. It's a fair shout. I disagree with it, though, because I would go Rob Lee before Gary Speed. Gary Speed was brilliant, and we missed him massively when he retired. And I heap loads of praise on him. But if you want to watch a brilliant midfielder, Rob Lee was it for me. And of course, you can probably class Peter Beardsley as a midfielder as well, and he's streets above both. Paul Gascoigne. Well, I never got to see Gaza.
Didn't play much for Newcastle, though, did he?
Before my time, unfortunately.
Had 4 good seasons, mate. 4 really good seasons. And they're about, definitely.
And a cup run. Yeah, I mean, Gaza, was again just before my time, unfortunately. Top knot looking over your shoulder would be the minimum for me. I like that one. Possibility, Ginger. I can see us having a mid-free and copying the blueprint of Liverpool and Man City. Fabinho with 2 8s in front of Rodri, with 8s in front. Bruno will be one of those 8s. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Actually, I've got my ideas as well. Get Miggy on the maxi muscle.
I think if you restrict Bruno to the CDM role, you lose a lot out of him. I think.
Yeah.
In actual fact, I think he's got that much talent in him. He can play anywhere in the midfield. I just think you wasted quite a lot of his forward runs if you play him in that sitting role.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying top 10 without any relegation worries. It's about right, isn't it? With the summer investment, it's going to be a push for top 8. This will be the goal of Leicester, Wolves and Villa. So we have to be competitive and target with the top 10, top 8 conversation. Yeah, I agree. Talking about midfield, what position do we fill in the summer? Thoughts, guys? Definitely need a centre-back, definitely need a goalkeeper, and definitely need a striker. And we definitely need a Jesse Lingard type player. I would love to see Lingard sign. They would be my 4 priority positions. Obviously, target, if we sign, there's the left-back, so 5. There's 5 priority positions, isn't there?
Winger, probably as well.
Yeah. Go to the gym. That's 6 players then. We definitely need Burnley win at Norwich tomorrow. I mean, they've got confidence now, haven't they?
Yeah.
So probably. I'd like to see Norwich win, though, just to keep us completely out of it.
I but want Everton to get relegated.
I know we do, but they won today, so it's different. Baz, you heard anything new about other Brighton, Dan? Or Dan Ashworth, we're talking about here. Just that we won't pay the compensation they're asking for. They're asking for 3 times the inflation on what the man should cost. They're not going to be bullied, so they'll wait it out.
It's free to talk to us for nothing at the end of the season, so we just have to wait.
Yeah, exactly. Solano, my favourite midfielder ever, and the way he crossed the ball with the outside of his right foot, it was a joy to watch Solano when he was on form. Front line is a winger and striker. That right winger striker is top of the list. Now, centre back's top of the list. Striker's top of the list, definitely. We have wingers. That would be the mid priority in my eyes. But a striker and a defender are definitely the key positions, and a goalkeeper as well, because he's already said, he wants a goalkeeper playing with his feet, doesn't he? I mean, I watched Bravka. He had a good game. He came for crosses. He claimed them very well. But there was a few times he just didn't release the ball fast enough again, Billy.
Yeah. I thought as a goalkeeper without his distribution, I thought he had a really good game last night. I mean, he didn't have a lot to do, but when he was called into action, the shot from Fabio Silva that he kept out was a superb save, I thought, the near post. Because it was well hit, and he was definitely going in to get down so quick and get a strong hand on it. I thought it was a brilliant save.
Yeah, it was.
But like you say, the only thing with Dubravka is his distribution and the speed of it. And I think to improve the team, I think we need a better goalkeeper in that department that still has the same goalkeeping qualities that Martin has. As a shot stopper and a leader with the back, really.
Definitely, I agree. Right, that's almost the end of the show. So very quickly again, the table, we are 10 points ahead of Burnley, but Burnley do have 2 games in hand. Obviously, Everton are the other team that are quite close to us. They are now only 6 points behind us, which is a small gap, which is why we would prefer Burnley not to get a win at Norwich, because I don't want them getting any closer than what they are. They could close the gap to 7 points with a game in hand. I know we probably should have enough, but I'd still prefer to see the teams around us getting beat every week if we can avoid it. A couple of more comments, very quick. Barry needs scoring wingers and a front 3, not 1. I didn't say it's priority positions, mate. Priority is goalkeeper, centre back, and a striker. If you don't think that's the priority, then you need to have a look again. Our keeper option is Koepka. There's a lot of keeping options, not just him. There's Henderson as well. We're going to talk about free transfers and also potential transfers as soon as we get all our stats and figures together. But we're looking forward to doing those shows. Koepka will be a car crash signing. Imagine the wages and price for him, potentially. So I just want to leave you on this picture. So obviously, again, it just shows the unity within the team. Look at Dan Burn there. Absolutely brilliant. Even Kieran Trippier's in there again. He just shows, this team is fighting together. Nick, looking at those pictures, be confident of us staying up, aren't we?
aye, like I say, we're safe already, really. But
I
realistically,
think so,
3 more
but
points.
just, yeah,
3 more points, and then definitely.
yeah, I love it.
Burnley and Everton will not get the 37 points. I looked at the games yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Even though Everton beaten Man U.
I didn't have them getting 3 points today, to be honest with you, and that worried me.
Neither had I, but I only had them getting 10 points, and that was before they played Man U without beating Man U, so that is them just getting 13 points.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I can't see them catching one, but you just want to be mathematically safe, so then you can really start planning for the summer as soon as possible. But we've got Leicester up next. Tough game. Palace at home after what they did to Arsenal. A tough game. So let's just hope we can get at least another 4 points potentially. Great show, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks, Foxy. Thanks for coming on, Nick. It's a pleasure to have the other half of Caitlin on. Back on Wednesday for Gallagate Girls. Billy and John, thanks for coming on again, as always, the co-hosts of the channel from now on. Like we say, Through Black and White Eyes is the new channel name. It will be virtually all Newcastle content. We will be doing some watch-alongs that aren't Newcastle, but most of it's going to be Newcastle content. And I want to leave you with this. So have a good weekend, everyone. Enjoy your Sundays, enjoy the football, and enjoy this one more time.
Oh, so you can do this. Come on!